Why, hello! I'm Big Joe the Storyteller. Welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe so you can watch all my amazing videos. If you want to find out about my live shows or to book a show, please visit bigjoe.com. If you want to listen to my stories, you can go to Spotify and other streaming platforms so you can listen to all my stories like the one I'm about to tell you right now. Hello, I am Big Joe the Storyteller. The story I'm about to tell you is a Native American folktale called Bear and Chipmunk. Let me introduce you to the characters in my story. This is Bear. Somebody's been eating my porridge. No, nobody's eating your porridge. What? We're not doing that story. We're doing a different story. Different story? Different story. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Dude, that's not even you. We're not doing those stories. We're doing Bear and Chipmunk, okay? And in this story, you're Bear. I'm Bear, you're Bear. I'm Bear. Yeah, they know you're Bear. I'm Bear. Yes, we know you're Bear. I'm Bear. Yes, thank you. That's Bear. Let's hope this next one goes better. This is Chipmunk. I am Karate Chipmunk. No. Look, we've been through this already. You are regular Chipmunk. I am Karate Chipmunk. You are not Karate Chipmunk. You are regular Chipmunk. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm breaking your arms. Stop. Yeah. Now I'm going to break your giant nose, and all the boogers will come out. It will be like a really gross piñata. Stop it. You are just regular Chipmunk. I am Karate Chipmunk. Attention, audience. I am Karate Chipmunk, master of karate, really cool guy. And Big Joe stinks. Stop. You are regular Chipmunk. This is the story of Bear and Chipmunk. Karate Chipmunk, stop it. A long time ago, Bear was very different than he is today. Now, bears today, they keep quiet and keep to themselves. But a long time ago, Bear was very proud of himself because he was very big and very strong. And he was one of the few animals that could walk on his hind legs just like a human could. And Bear would go around the forest bragging about himself all the time. And one day Bear was out in the forest and he was looking around. And Bear said, "Oh yes, I'm the greatest. I'm the fastest. I'm the strongest. I'm the meanest. I'm the cutest. Animal in the forest. Nobody is better than me. I am the best. Oh yes, I am the best." And all of a sudden he heard a voice. And the voice said, "No, you're not." Bear looked around and Bear said, "Who said that? Who dares say anything to me? I am the best." And the voice said, "No, you're not." And he looked down, and there sitting on the rock was a chipmunk. And he said, "Chipmunk, how dare you make fun of me? I am the best." Chipmunk said, "Oh, no, you're not." He said, "I am the best. I can do anything I want. Watch this." And Bear went and grabbed a tree and pulled it up by its roots and threw it across the forest. Chipmunk said, "Big deal. That tree is probably dead before you picked it up." He said, "Yeah, watch this." And Bear went and grabbed a great big boulder and lifted it up over his head and put it back down. Chipmunk said, Yeah, my uncle could do that." He said, "How dare you make fun of me? I am the best." And Chipmunk said, "Oh, no, you're not." He said, "All right, you tell me something I can't do and I will do it." And Chipmunk thought for a few seconds and he said, All right. He said, "You know how the sun comes up over the horizon every morning?" "Yeah." "I bet you can't stop the sun from coming up." Bear said, "Hey, if I wanted the sun to not come up, the sun would not come up." He said, "Yeah, right." He said, "All right, you meet me at the ridge in the morning, and I will show you. I will stop the sun from coming up." Now, Chipmunk went home and told Mrs. Chipmunk what Bear was going to try to do. Mrs. Chipmunk told Mrs. Badger. Mrs. Badger told Mrs. Beaver. Mrs. Beaver told Mrs. Squirrel. And Mrs. Squirrel told everybody. She's like a gossip. She likes to talk. And it wasn't long before everybody in the forest knew what was going down. And the next morning, all the animals gathered around the ridge to see if Bear could really stop the sun from coming up. Well, Bear came sauntering through all the animals, and he saw him. He said, "Hey, everybody, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, glad to see you, glad to see you." And he got up there and he said, "Okay, everybody, I'm going to stop the sun from coming up now. I hope you're okay with that." And Bear looked out into the sky, and he said, "Son, this is Bear, the meanest, strongest, fastest, cutest animal in the forest. I'm telling you, don't come up today. Don't come up." All right, that'll do it, everybody. Thanks for coming. But all of a sudden, over the horizon, there's a little bit of red in the sky, and the sky got a little bit brighter. And Bear got a little nervous, and Bear made a meaner face, and Bear said, "Son, this is Bear, the meanest, strongest, fastest, cutest animal in the forest. Perhaps you didn't hear me the first time, but don't come up today. Don't come up." All right, that'll do it. That should do it. But all of a sudden, the red in the sky got replaced with a little bit of orange, and the sky got a little bit brighter. And Bear put on a meaner voice, and he looked even meaner. And Bear said, "Son, this is Bear, the meanest, strongest, fastest, cutest animal in the forest. I'm telling you, no, I'm ordering you. Don't come up today. Don't come up." Now, even though Bear was being very mean, the orange in the sky got replaced with a little bit of yellow, and the sky was getting brighter, and the sun was starting to come up. And Bear got really, really nervous, and Bear put on his meanest voice, and Bear said, "Son, this is Bear, the meanest, strongest, fastest, cutest animal in the forest. I demand you do not come up today. Don't come up." Now, even though Bear was being very mean and very strong, the sun was indeed starting to come up. The animals couldn't believe it. They started to whisper to each other and talk to each other and point at the sky and point at Bear. And some of them started to laugh. Well, Chipmunk Man, he was the happiest of all. He started to chuckle. Then he started to giggle. And so he started to laugh. And Chipmunk started to bounce from one paw to another paw, from one paw to another paw. And Chipmunk started to sing, "Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun." And all the animals started to clap along with him, and Chipmunk was singing, "Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun." Well, Bear reached down, and he grabbed Chipmunk, and he picked him up, and he said, "Chipmunk, you have made fun of me for the very last time. Now I'm going to eat you, and you will never see the sun come up again. Hi-ya! Put it down. I'm going to karate chop the very stinky bear. Hi-ya! Put it down." Well, Chipmunk put his little paws together, and he said, "Oh, Bear, oh, kind, sweet Bear, please forgive me. Please spare my life. Do not eat me." Well, Bear was very big and strong, but also very kind and very generous. And he said, "Fine, I will spare your life." And he put Chipmunk back down. And Chipmunk bowed down low before Bear and looked up at Bear with very humble eyes. And Chipmunk said, "Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun, Bear can't stop the sun." And Bear growled, "Roar!" And he chased after Chipmunk. He ran and he ran and he ran, and Chipmunk ran as fast as he could. And just before he jumped down his hole, Bear took his great big claw and scratched right down Chipmunk's back. That really hurt. "I'm dead. You're not dead. I'm dead. You're not dead. I'm dead. You're not dead. You're talking to me. I'm a ghost. You're not a ghost. I'm the ghost of Karate Chipmunk. Boo! Please stop. Boo! Please stop. Boo!" All right. As I was saying, boo! Really? Sorry. Well, Bear went back, and all the animals were laughing at him and pointing at him and making fun of him. And Bear got very, very embarrassed. And Bear ran off in the forest and found a cave to hide inside because he was so embarrassed. Well, from that day to this day, bears keep to themselves, and they keep quiet, and they don't make a big deal about themselves anymore because they know that there's something that they can't do. Well, as for Chipmunk, if you look down Chipmunk's back to this very day, you'll see 3 big stripes. That's the mark where that bear's claws scratched that Chipmunk so long ago. That's to remind Chipmunk to not make fun of anybody bigger than themselves, especially not a great big bear. And so ends the story of Bear and... Fine. Bear and Karate Chipmunk. Thank you very much. And that is the end.